Once upon a time, in a quiet, sunlit village surrounded by green hills and golden fields, there lived a kind-hearted girl named Maribel. Maribel's family was poor, but she had a warm spirit and a gentle heart that earned her the affection of everyone she met. She worked tirelessly on their small farm, rising at dawn to tend to the chickens and fields, her hands calloused but her smile unwavering. One early morning, as the first light of dawn broke across the sky, Maribel went to gather eggs from the chicken coop. To her astonishment, she found a tiny golden bird trapped in the chicken wire. Its feathers shimmered like sunlight, and its delicate wings trembled as it struggled to free itself. "Shh," Maribel said softly, crouching down. "I'll help you." Carefully, she untangled the wire and cupped the bird in her hands. It chirped weakly, its golden eyes meeting hers with a flicker of gratitude. "You're free now," Maribel said, opening her hands to release it. But the bird didn't fly away. Instead, it tilted its head and spoke, its voice soft and melodic. "You have shown me kindness, Maribel," it said, "and for that, I will grant you 3 wishes. But choose wisely, for every wish has its price." Maribel gasped, her heart racing. She had heard stories of magical creatures granting wishes, but she had never imagined such a thing would happen to her. The golden bird fluttered to a nearby perch and waited patiently for her response. The first wish Maribel thought of her family's struggles, the leaky roof, the barren fields, the aching worry in her parents' eyes. "I wish for enough gold to take care of my family," she said, her voice trembling with hope. The bird chirped once, and a small pile of gold coins appeared at her feet. Maribel's eyes widened in amazement, and she rushed to show her family. Her parents wept with joy, and the coins were used to fix their house, buy new tools, and plant fresh crops. But as the days passed, something changed. Neighbors who had once been kind now looked at the family with envy. Rumors spread about their sudden wealth, and strangers began arriving at their door, demanding to know their secret. Maribel's once warm village grew cold and suspicious. One night, as she sat alone in her room, the golden bird appeared on her windowsill. "Do you regret your wish, Maribel?" it asked. She hesitated. "I didn't expect it to change people like this," she admitted. "I thought it would make things better." The bird nodded solemnly. "Wealth changes not just the world, but those who live in it." The second wish determined to find happiness again, Maribel thought long and hard about her next wish. One morning, as she gazed at her reflection in the stream, she thought of how people had always admired beauty. Perhaps, she reasoned, if she were beautiful, people would love her again. "I wish to be the most beautiful girl in the land," she told the bird. The bird chirped once more, and when Maribel looked into the stream again, she gasped. Her reflection was no longer the face she had always known. Her features were delicate and flawless, her hair shimmering like spun gold. At first, people flocked to her, marveling at her beauty. Strangers traveled from far and wide to see her, and suitors lined up at her door, offering gifts and promises of devotion. But Maribel soon realized that their admiration was hollow. They didn't see her. They saw only her beauty. She felt more alone than ever. Even her family, though they loved her, seemed to treat her differently, as though she were no longer the Maribel they had known. The golden bird visited her again one evening as she sat by the stream, tears slipping down her perfect cheeks. "Beauty can attract many," the bird said gently, "but it cannot make them care for who you truly are." Maribel nodded, her heart heavy. "I should have known." The third wish Maribel now understood the weight of her choices. Her wishes had brought her wealth and beauty, but they had also taken away the simplicity and warmth she had cherished. The people around her had changed, and she had changed too, in ways she couldn't ignore. As she stared at the golden bird perched beside her, she spoke her final wish with clarity. "I wish for everything to go back to the way it was before." The bird chirped for the third time, and the world around her shimmered. The gold, the beauty, the strangers, they all faded away like morning mist. When the light dimmed, Maribel found herself back in her modest home, her hands rough with work. Her reflection in the stream as familiar as an old friend. Her family greeted her with warm smiles, their love undimmed. The villagers, too, treated her with the same kindness they always had, for they had no memory of the wishes or their consequences. The lesson, though Maribel had returned to her old life, she carried with her the wisdom of her journey. She learned to value the simple joys of her days, the sound of her father's laugh, the feel of the earth beneath her hands, the knowledge that she was loved for who she truly was. The golden bird visited her one last time. "You have chosen well, Maribel," it said. "Not all learn the value of what they already have." "Thank you," she said, bowing her head. "But I've learned that true happiness doesn't come from wishes. It comes from within." The bird chirped once, a sound that echoed like laughter, and flew away into the golden light of the setting sun.